GCSE Maths. Welcome. Are you excited for a fun learning session? Make sure you have your book and a pen before we start. Today you are going to learn about averages. Averages and range. The average is a way of finding the central or most typical value in a given data set. Averages and range are useful as it allows for comparison between data sets. The mode is the value that appears most often in a data set. For example, if the eye colors of a family were recorded as blue, 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 green, then the mode is green. The median is the middle result in a data set. To find the median, put all the results in order and find the middle value. If there are an even number of values, add the two middle values and divide by 2. The shoe sizes in a class are 4, 5, 3, 3, 6, 8, 10, 4, 9, 5, 6, 9. First put the values in order. 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 8, 9, 9, 10. Find the middle value. There are 12 values, so the two middle values are 5 and 6. 5 plus 6 equals 11. 11 divided by 2 equals 5.5. To find the mean, add up all the values and divide by the number of values. For example, the ages in a class are 7, 8, 8, 7, 8, 7, 7, 8, 8. First add 7 plus 8 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8 plus 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8 equals 68. Then divide by the number of students in the class. 68 divided by 9 equals 7.55, so the average age is 7.55. The range is the difference between the largest and the smallest value. The smaller the range, the more consistent. The larger the range, the less consistent. Data can be put into frequency tables to make the data easier to read than long lists. The frequency shows how often a value appears in a data set. In a frequency table, the mode is the value with the largest frequency. Here it is 2 pets. To find the median, add up all the frequencies and divide by 2. Find the dataset which contains that frequency. Adding all the frequencies gives 1000. To find the median group, divide by 2. This gives 500. Find the dataset where the 500th frequency is. The frequency of 0 is 220. The frequency of 1 is 200 plus 180 equals 382. Has a frequency 380 plus 360 equals 740, so the 500th value is in that data set. The median value is 2. To find the range, take the largest from the smallest. Here 360 minus 2 equals 358. To find the mean, there is an extra step. Multiply the frequency by the data. Add all the values, then divide by the total frequency. Here this gives 2 pets. Be careful to round where there cannot be a decimal. Any figures that involve the numbers of living things should be rounded. Lower quartile, median and upper quartiles are used to divide datasets into 4 groups. The quartiles are positioned at 25%, 50% and 75% of the way through the data. To find the lower quartile, Q1 can be calculated using the formula Q1 equals n plus 1 divided by 4, where n is the number of categories. To find the median can be calculated using the formula Q2 equals n plus 1 divided by 2, where n is the number of categories. To find the upper quartile, Q3 can be calculated using the formula Q3 equals 3 times n plus 1 divided by 4, where n is the number of categories. The upper quartile, the lower quartile give the interquartile range. This gives the middle 50% of the data. This may be used to work out how dispersed the data in the dataset is. When calculating the range, you must first put all the data in order, then find the upper and lower quartiles. In this example, the interquartile range is 2. An outlier is a value that is very different from the others in a set. For example, in a dataset of 2, 4, 5, 9, 5, 8, 9, 3, 5, 7, 1, 2, 30, 4, 6, 7, 4, 8, 2, 8, 4, 7, 9. The outlier would be 30. It is important to use the right average to ensure that data is not misinterpreted. There are advantages and disadvantages to each types of average. The mode has some pros and cons. Pros: easy to calculate. Find the most common, does not get distorted by outliers, can be used on qualitative data as well as numerical data, always one of the values of the data set. Cons: there can be more than one or none at all. It is not always a good representation of the data. For the mean, here are some pros and cons. Pros: uses all the data values, so is often the most representative of the data. Cons: it is affected by outliers, it is not always a value from the data set. The median has some pros and cons. Pros: easy to find in ungrouped data, it is not affected by outliers. Cons: doesn't use all the data values, so not always representative. It is not always a value in the data set. The range has some pros and cons. Pros: easy to find. Cons: can be affected by outliers. The interquartile range has some pros and cons. Pros: is not affected by outliers. Cons: doesn't use all data values, so not always representative of the data.